Welcome to the Big O Money Show. Bill Altman here with my co-host Tony Shore. So fun. Andrew and Tony were fabulous last week, and everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I was told that I need to watch the actual show, and I
You do.
will. Yep. So I heard it was that good, Tony, which is exciting. Very exciting.
It was a fun show and a really good show. Yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot going on in markets right now. You might first be asking me, like, what the heck, dude? Why is he wearing a hat that says Pitkin, Colorado? Well, this here, folks, is heaven. Pitkin, Colorado is a place that we go often, annually, guys trip, dirt bikes, side by
That's where
sides,
your dirt bike trip is.
campers. Oh my gosh.
It's
Unbelievable.
beautiful. Been there once.
Yep. So the wedding that I was at just a short time ago, 2 weeks ago, for Isabella Jacobson and Alex, so the last show that I did 2 weeks ago, I said Isabella Jacobson's wedding and her husband. I didn't name the guy. His name is Alex.
Oh,
Alex McCrindle. Yeah.
Okay. You forgot to name the groom. That's okay.
Well, no, I didn't forget. I didn't know his name.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
No, I mean, I'm not.
That's right.
Yeah, we're under very strict rules here of perjury, and so no, I am definitely did not remember his name. So it's now Isabella and Alex McCrindle. And they got married in a town called Almont, Almont, Colorado. And it's about 20 minutes outside of Gunnison. And so it's just an unbelievable, super beautiful area, an area that you can go and completely wind down. You definitely have very limited cell service. The area does have internet, spotty and slow, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because in this life, we're so used to fast, and I want this and I want that and I need it. And, I'm going through a drive-through at wherever, and it's taken, a minute longer than it's supposed to.
You get impatient.
That world doesn't exist up there. And it's nice to kind of reset. And so Danielle and I were able to go up there and join them in their celebration of marriage, which was super exciting. My best friend's daughter got married to Alex McCrindle. Yeah. And so, again, they live in Gunnison. That was a fun time. So we're there. We got back. A lot has gone on. It's constantly going on. I got kids going back into college here next week, actually. This coming Thursday, Tony, I take Michaela back to Tennessee. She's pre-med at UT Knoxville, and then Danielle and I will drive from Knoxville to Auburn and get Braden moved in for his senior year at Auburn University. And he's the one studying the aerospace engineering, and then we'll get him moved in. And whatever we need bought for that place, I think maybe a couch and a bed, because he's moving into like a single apartment, a one man place. So it's no longer a furnished 5-bedroom frat house situation. Wow. Senior year, hard, finish strong, and about the same cost. So great idea there. And then Grace goes back to school on the 13th. So, it's coming up. That same day that we leave, actually, she goes back to college.
Oh, wow.
So everything kind of happens so quick in life, though, doesn't it? And you know this so well, Tony.
Oh, I do. I do. Yep. This summer is just like that. I'm actually going to be in Nashville in a couple of weeks. I fly into Nashville, Tennessee on the 27th. So that Thursday, I will be in Nashville, Tennessee for about 4 days through Sunday. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to hang out with, I have friends in Nashville, used to live there, and
Oh, and
X-ray.
you took me down there on a tour to
Ocean
a
Way
famous
Studios. Yeah.
Ocean Way Studios. Unbelievable. And who's recorded there? I mean,
Well,
everybody, but
everybody, Taylor Swift, Toby Keith, Carrie Underwood recorded the Sunday Night Football theme there recently, or when she started doing it, took that over.
mhm.
They do a lot of video games, soundtracks. They do a lot of soundtrack music. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack
Oh, cool.
was
Yeah,
recorded there. Alan
yeah,
Parsons has recorded there. Bon Jovi, all the country acts. I mean, yeah,
sure.
Luke, all those guys. Yeah,
Yep. No, good times
yeah,
and lots of fun, obviously. So,
yeah, yeah. We'll
and
have
add
fun
some.
in Auburn and
Oh yeah,
in Murfreesboro and all that.
oh yeah. We'll do the thing.
Yeah.
And then it's a 23 or 2,400 mile round trip for Danielle and I.
Wow. And you're
Yep. So we're
driving.
driving it, and we have boxes packed, and the boxes will go back in the back of the truck, and we'll strap everything and tarp it, and off we go. And
Wow.
then we get to Braden, and then we'll head home. So it's just like that, and it's one of those deals where we're busy in life without that. And
Yeah.
so is everybody listening here right now. Your busy is different than my busy,
Right.
right? And different than your neighbor and your friends is busy. But it's always busy. Something always happens. I was
Yeah.
talking to our CPA the other day, Julie, and she's like, it doesn't stop. You feel that things wind down. I have my last one going into her senior year, Grace, here at
Yeah.
Miller North in Omaha.
I can't believe Grace is a senior already.
Right. And rocking, and she's doing all her college applications, and she's applying to about everywhere that you could ever imagine. Right.
Sure.
And she's doing that. And so I'm thinking to myself, so Grace is going to be gone, sad, but you know what? We'll, be kind of empty nesting, and I'll get to hang out with Tony more
Yeah.
and whatnot. But I don't know if that's the case. So maybe there's like a little lull, but it seems like then you have aging parents,
Yep.
or
It
you
fills back
have
up, Bill. That glass fills. You look at the glass, it's
grandkids.
starting to get empty, but it fills back up.
It fills back up, and that's a good thing. It kind of keeps you going, and it
Yes.
wants you to stay per per our show financially stable, because you want to be able to help all those that need
Yeah.
help, whether it's parents or kids or grandkids. You certainly want to stay healthy. We talk about that in our show. We want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves so we can offer what we have mentally and physically to our kids, grandkids, and our parents, right? So we want all that, and our friends and everything else that we have going on in life and work and the whole nine yards. So there's so much involved that we need to also take care of ourselves.
Yes.
And it's in
We
so
do.
many ways. It's not just health, right? It's not just finance, but it's really encompassing everything. If we look at markets have been really good. I'll say that,
Crazy
right?
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've been rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Um, and if we take a quick look at like what has really been going on, I'd say volatility, but volatility on the good side.
Yeah.
We saw, things happening in the Strait of Hormuz, which is good, but then tomorrow we'll hear that it's not good anymore, and then the next day maybe it's good again, and then maybe it's not good. And my conspiracy theory says it's politics, uh, but I don't know, right? I'm not going to play that card really. It's just, and I can't as an investor. I can't
No.
pretend that it's something that's just going to pass on its own, right?
Right.
Um,
Right. I mean, you
geopo-
can't just on a
yeah,
given day like today we're recording, you can't look at the S&P and go, "Wow, it's way up." I'm just going to bank on that. It goes up and
right.
down, but hopefully it's time. You can't just react, "Oh, the market's down," or I heard news that could push the markets down. I better do something. You can't react to every little bit
Right.
of news.
Well, and we've seen great earnings reports
Oof,
on,
yeah.
on most companies,
Yeah,
most.
most,
And
yeah.
that's fantastic. We see an intimate deal, a deal that's hopefully going to pass boats through the strait. So we
Yeah,
see that, but again, we
I hope
talked
so.
about that a little bit until the next bomb goes off or missile gets fired or whatever it is. But it's leading the Dow and the S&P and the Nat. We're leading all-time highs
Hmm.
on the regular. We've seen interest rates peak down a hair. We've seen oil come down pretty
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
right?
that surprised me actually, with everything going on in the Strait, oil's back down. That's interesting.
Yeah, and your Tesla, it doesn't really matter, Tony, but
Right. Yeah, that's true.
you know,
For some of us, yeah, it's a little
yeah, for
easier
some
than
of
others.
you that just put it on autopilot and go and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. But I think investors are definitely focused and they're hyper focused on AI right now. And so when I say investors, I'm not talking about just investors of you and I and our clients. I'm talking about institutional investors also. Big names, AMD, SanDisk. We have
Oh, yeah.
Western Digital. I mean, big time. SpaceX announced a deal uh, in SpaceX. Talk about SpaceX. Holy smokes! Everybody was like chomping at the bit. I got to get into this IPO.
I know.
I got to get in. It's going to open at 135 and
I
it's
heard
going
a
to go to
couple of
2
18
million.
couple of 18-year-olds in a Taco Bell were talking about, man, we got to get into the SpaceX. Like the week the IPO went live. I'm like, holy cow, what's going on here?
The only thing those 18-year-olds need to do is lobby Taco Bell to bring back the chili cheese burrito.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Yeah,
if we can bring back the chili cheese burrito,
I think
I think
somebody.
we can kill Taco Bell stock.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would if there is a candidate for president in the next election and they just ran on that, they'd get my vote.
Oh,
No,
oh,
that's
sure.
ignore all the other issues. Don't take a stand on the other issues. Just run on that. I think they could actually win the election.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
So now we have SpaceX really at all-time lows, right? But I mean,
yeah.
this isn't a surprise. We talked about this.
We did.
Michael Binger talked about it. Keith Gangle
We
talked about it,
predicted
right?
this. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And the prediction, and Tony and I's like we rub our hand across that magic 8 ball and it says do
yeah.
this or do that, right? That's
Right,
our level of prediction. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, when a company doesn't have really any earnings or they're negative
right.
and they're brand new,
Yeah,
what's the value is different.
yeah,
The
yeah,
value is more of it's intangible. It's
yeah,
what can they create, what's happening, what's going to go on.
yeah. It might
I
even
think
come
they
down
just
more once they're going to release the other shares pretty soon.
they are, yeah, absolutely. And and they did sign, I believe they signed with Nvidia to be
Yes.
their number one chip maker.
Yep.
So that's a good piece. It's good for Nvidia for sure.
Oh,
And I
for
think
sure.
SpaceX will be fine. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a
Oh,
lot of
yeah, especially in
with
the
that,
long
yeah,
term, they're going to be
in
great.
the
But
long term. But that's the deal. I was listening to a podcast driving the other day, and they were talking about long-term investors and investors in spaces like private equity, for instance,
sure.
right? Or things that just aren't liquid. And they talked about, if you got into SpaceX, I believe 22 years ago was when SpaceX actually came out. I believe it was 22, right in that
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now, if you got in there as an early accredited investor, so you would have to really know people because no one knew what that was at that time,
Sure.
right? But if you got in at that time, those people probably pulled the trigger at that IPO,
Yes.
right? They said I'm out, and they probably made a lot of money. So the
Yes.
IPO comes out, and it's a big funding round, for the company. So
Yeah.
the company gets a big influx of cash and is able to then build and grow. That's really what happens, and that's why you would sell out to anything. If you're going to sell a portion of your company, if Tony's going to sell a portion, say, of his company for, say, 30% of it or 50% of it or whatever you're going to sell it for, you're on board to continue to grow it, right?
Right.
But they're on board to make sure that it continues to grow.
Yeah.
So they're going to put money into it. It's going to be two sides to that coin,
Yep.
big time. And so that's important. And the goal is to kind of get it to that point of fruition where everybody is made whole, with profits.
Yes,
right?
with profits.
So when SpaceX came out, it's a hype, it's Elon Musk and it's Tesla and it's the Boring Company and it's, in space, and we have satellites, and satellites, and we have rockets, we have everything that we've never ever had before. We've never had a satellite or a rocket before. It's brand new to the world. No, but we've had it. Yeah. So it's just something different and new.
Yeah.
Will it be good? I think so. Lots of government contracts involved. It's fantastic. Big companies on board. NVIDIA, fantastic. Is it something to invest in for a piece of your portfolio? Sure.
Yep.
Right? To jump the gun and get in and say, I'm getting in on that IPO and I'm going to get allocated, because I know friends, and Tony, you know these same friends too, that got in and they requested a whole bunch of shares and they got 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that, $135 a pop.
Yep.
So I mean, they're risking it all at 13 hundo, right? Or whatever. Yeah. But really,
yeah,
that was the deal. And so the institutional investors gobbled up, and now those positions are now in their portfolios. But again, that jumped up quite a bit, and now it's jumped way back down, and it's exactly what we thought was going to happen.
Yep.
Okay, so I can't predict what's going to happen, but again, what do we talk about? The boring stuff. How about the stuff like under our kitchen sink, the Clorox bleach, the Windex, the dishwasher tabs,
Yep.
the laundry detergent,
Sure.
toilet paper towels, right? So
Yep.
what portfolio of ours fits that mix? Would that be the G50?
The G50.
Oh, the G50. Yes, that's exactly
it's
right.
G50. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was your
Isn't
rap alter ego talking there.
Right, though, isn't it, though? It's our G50.
Yeah.
So it's our blue chip dividend portfolio. Every single stock has paid dividends. Every single stock has grown their dividends year over year. And if they don't fit those two basic requirements, they're not invited to the party.
Right.
And there's 50 of them. And then you have one money market. So there's 51 holdings in that particular portfolio. That one extra is the money market that the dividends get dumped into. There's 4 dividend payments per year per company, quarterly dividends. There's 200 dividends per year that get paid from that portfolio. So you're receiving a dividend almost every day of the trading year. That's the boring side.
Yeah.
But wow, it sounds like a pretty solid deal, isn't it? And we can't look back at past performance and how Procter and Gamble has done over the last 14 million years or whatever, but we can take a look at the company's financials, how they've paid, and their consistency.
Yeah, look at their earnings.
Yeah, and if you're gonna marry somebody, and maybe if you're younger in life, maybe it's tougher, right, to know this. But if you're a little bit older in life, or you're buying a company, or if you're getting married to someone, or whatever the situation is, maybe you look at that consistency. How has that been? What has happened in the pre-life, right? Pre-me, what's happened? Has Procter paid their dividends? Have they increased their dividends? Has the new spouse that we're looking into, which sounds strange, I'm not looking into any spouses, by the way, but has that new person, what's their consistency look like? Or is it just a love language that's sexy? It's SpaceX and we're sending rockets into the sky and it's going to be freaking great.
Yeah.
Is that something? And that's what we really have to look at when we're investing.
Yeah.
So we look at that G50, we look at that core select portfolio, which is that S&P side. The fixed income had its day last year. I mean, there's no doubt. Fixed income is fantastic. And now it's back to normal. And people are like, well, why am I not making 7% on my fixed income bonds this year? Well, because interest rates they're not continuing to come down. They've stabilized. And we've talked about the stabilization. We've talked about why it was a good idea to be in fixed income in 2025, because bond rates did come down and it forced your values of your fixed income up, right? And you got the coupon payment. You got that interest payment from the bond. So you add everything together, and I think fixed income portfolio was up 7% or so last year. 7.5%. That's not normal for fixed safe money.
Yeah.
Right. And so once again, we balance everything. And then where are you in life? Where are you on the course of retirement?
Yeah.
Right?
Your time horizon, right, makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. And we fully believe that markets are going to be fine, right? And because they've been fine for 100 years and we can draw the line up. The line goes up. Yep. There's no doubt about that, right? No one can debate that. From 1926 to 2026, the line is a nice trajectory up. You'd love to ski that hill down, on skis.
Yep.
Yeah, not with your money, right?
No.
But it's gone up. But what's your time horizon? Is your time horizon you're 50 years old and you have 20 years left to work, or 10 years? Then we have to figure that out. Are you 70 and your time horizon is, here, we're here, and we need income from the portfolio, but we still want growth? So we have to pick things apart. Are you in the 50s? Are you in your low 50s or mid 50s and you want to retire? You've done it. You have everything. You have military pensions, but everything's locked up in IRAs. How do we get to that money? Because you're not 59 and a half yet. Maybe we do a 72T distribution. We do that kind of stuff all the time, where you can avoid that 10% IRS penalty tax. Or do we draw it from the non-qualified assets instead of taking that? There are so many options and so many things to go through to make sure that you are set up properly. Yeah. And that's really the key. So markets are moving. Our last bad year, I'm going to say bad year. I don't think it was a bad year, but our last down year was 2022. It's 2026 right now. So we're 4 years in. We do believe still there's a 25-year secular bull market, and that comes from Mr. Brian Belsky himself. And we got special guest speaker
Rosie. Our mascot.
Yeah.
Who's our mascot for the show?
That's Rosie.
Rosie.
Hey, Rose.
Hi, Rosie. Yeah,
that's Tony. Yeah. So we're about out of time, folks. And Rosie joined us at the end. But again, whatever help you need and whatever we can help you provide in planning your income, guaranteeing your income, making sure your assets are properly diversified, making sure you have the proper insurance in place and legal documents and your tax. We do all that. That's what we do. We button it up. We dot the I's. We cross the T's. Again, my name is Bill Altman. You're listening also to Tony Shore today. BigOMoney.com. Give us a call, 402-557-6730, right here in Omaha. 557-6730. And you can always go to the BigOMoney.com.
Yep, BigOMoney.com. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, listeners and viewers. That does it for today's episode of the Big O Money Show with our host, Bill Altman.